Hey,
Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, special edition podcast. It's not Tuesday. It's not after Tuesday. What the hell are we here reviewing, gentlemen? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it in just a second. I am Trent, along with my co-host, the man who owns maybe as many of those sparkly disco shirts as Johnny Bravo, Jaybone. Jaybone, say hello to the people.
What is up, everybody? It's a fabulous. What the hell day is this? Monday?
It's Monday. It's not Impact Day. All right. And alongside Jaybone, we got the scummiest scumbag that ever scummed in the planet scum. The guy who sits upon the throne of garbage. The one who's the slum lord of Scumtown. Kyle L. Scumbo is in the house.
Hey, the garage looks a little less scummy. Check out all the renovation back here.
All that impacts. Let's identify what we have there. Okay, here's what I can see. I see EC3. Was that his championship banner photo? Is that
signed to Kyle, autographed.
Did you go to that show?
Nope, he PayPal'd that one to me. That's an awesome. Exclusive.
You got that. You got the Melrose Taping Special Edition. You got the OVE. I see the calendar that I got you from Homecoming.
You got me.
And I see the looks like Hammerstein Ballroom taping right there. Huh?
That's the debut on Pop TV. No, right. The debut on Destination America. And ironically, every single person on that poster is no longer with the company, except for Gavin.
Shit.
Yep.
Wow. And then we got the autograph of Sue Young, the Rebellion. We got the North autograph, Sammy Callahan, and Brian Cage.
Oh, yeah.
A nice little smorgasbord.
The shrine, the wall of scum.
Okay. So I want to introduce you guys to my new buddy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, who is this?
This is courtesy.
Is that Sid Bones?
That's Sid Bones' cousin. That's a cousin of Jaybone stopping in for a bit at post Halloween season there.
You should put the NWO hat on him or something,
Yeah.
That's my
Oh, you guys, you're so.
Look at the group in here.
I'm just completely.
Oop.
I'm just completely fried. So
clearly, I know a thing or two about interior decoration.
Very nice. Yeah, you do. I mean, look at that. You took a scummy, shitty garage and turned it into an Impact shrine.
You should come over here and do something stealthy.
Oh, jeez.
All right, very nice. Well, gentlemen. We're here on a Monday. Everybody's kind of shocked to see us. Jaybone, get a hold of yourself, will you? Jesus Christ. We're here on a Monday. It's rare for us to be here on a Monday. We're not reviewing Raw, much to the chagrin of Jaybone. We're not reviewing Raw. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're not reviewing AEW. We're not here to review. We're here to talk a little bit. We're not gonna match by match this, but we had a weekend of Impact Super Card shows, Turning Point and Overdrive. Gotta jump in here. We figured let's get together, shoot the shit for a few minutes, talk about those two shows.
Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there, including Mr. BQ himself,
Mr. BQ,
veteran of the Air Force.
Capitan of the channel is a veteran of the Air Force. So is the nurse. She's in the National Guard, Army National Guard. She's a veteran today too. So happy Veterans Day to my nurse. She's a tough chick. She showed me pictures of her holding guns. And I think it was an intimidation tactic.
You better not cheat on her, Trent.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was not a matter of, hey, look what I did. It's a matter of, I will kill you if I have the opportunity and need to kill you. So, yes. So that's happy veterans to anybody else in the chat who's served. We appreciate you. Thank you for your service. I'm a veteran of a lot of. Oh my God, he owns it. Look at this. The scummiest shirt the scumbag can wear. And show us what it says on the back. I got to read it like Josh Matthews. I just banged your wife? I can't believe they're selling this shirt. This is amazing. This is incredible.
They announced during the Overdrive show. In fact, they announced it during the women's match of all matches that it is going to be hitting shopimpact.com very soon.
Interesting. Very interesting. That Kyle, have you worn that in public yet with the back facing the public.
I'm a little funny about that, you know.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what kind of looks I'm gonna be getting, you know. I'm standing in front of somebody on the line at the supermarket. Yeah, you're marrying my wife, you know. And I mean, this is just a placeholder until I get my own custom shirt. It's gonna say "Scumbag 316." I just banged your daughter.
Jaybone, it doesn't have to be directed at you. It's in general. He's just banging somebody's daughter somewhere.
Oh, I didn't say nothing. I was just kind of like,
very nice. So, guys, we had a nice little weekend. Impact was in the state of Pennsylvania. They did Turning Point, which used to be a normal pay-per-view, a November pay-per-view. Now it's a super show on the Impact Plus app.
Bring back a classic.
We did Overdrive from Hazel. Was that not Hazelton? Overdrive was from Scranton, the home of the Office.
Home of the Office, yes. And Lounger Alicia B. Cakey was there. I was talking to her during.
She was at Turning Point. I saw her Insta story. She was at Turning Point. So Alicia, go ahead and throw in some comments. You know, live reaction. Looked cool. That was a good looking venue and everything. I like that.
William Gardner up in the chat.
There he is. William Gardner, welcome. You were at both shows. We saw you on TV.
Nice.
Looking good, looking sharp in his moose vest. You know,
moose jacket, EC3 jacket. You know, that's the thing. I can't hang out with William because if he lets me into his house, I can't promise that I won't steal those jackets. You know, that's some nice merchandise he got there.
The EC3 jacket is what he originally built his legacy on. Was the EC3 jacket?
If he dies, put me in his will. God damn.
Very nice. Well, I'm before we get into everything, guys, I want to announce something. Plane tickets have been bought. I'm going to Hard to Kill in Dallas.
Uh-oh.
I got $100 round trip. Me and the nurse are on our way to Hard to Kill in Dallas. $100, Southwest Airlines. I highly recommend anybody do this.
Not bad.
Yeah, so, not bad at all.
My good friend moved from Long Island to
Dallas?
3 hours out of Dallas in Texas, and I'm already messaging him, hey, dude, can I crash on the couch? You want to drive in your van 3 hours to the show? Like, he's not really totally interested, but if I'm able to fund my plane ticket, the tickets, and the 3 hours worth of gas, if I don't buy anything, don't eat any food, don't make a single purchase up until Hard to Kill, I might be able to afford that trip.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh Jesus! There's something in the chat that I hope you do not highlight. See, those are words I don't want to hear her yelling. Yeah, exactly. Well, so guys, let's kick it off here.
Power of the penis.
Yeah, power of the penis, indeed. Now, everybody in the chat also, let's give some feedback. Let's start with Turning Point. Looked like a nice full house. I know there was an upper balcony that they weren't using, but crowd looked lively. They had the big screen, very similar to what they did with Prelude to Glory. So I'm guessing here, guys, when it comes to the Impact Plus shows, they're going all out. They got the big screen, the better lights. Twitch shows, it's kind of more basic setup and whatnot. So let me hear from you guys. What do you guys think overall? Turning Point. We'll jump into a little specifics, but overall show, Turning Point. What do you guys think about it, Jaybone?
There were pros and cons to both. I mean, the crowd was great for the first one for Turning Point. The crowd for the second one, weird. You know, I'll say, you know, it was done in a mall. Wasn't quite the crowd like.
Oh. It was like the first Nitro all over again. I loved the mall atmosphere.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, you scumbag. Yeah, it wasn't quite the atmosphere of the first, you know, I think there was a couple more crickets. I mean, the action was fine. No criticism on the wrestling, but I feel like they might have let in a few of the nursing home folks to this one, and not knocking William Gardner. The guy is classy, is making enough noise as he could, you know, to make up for the rest of them. But
well, I can honestly say I heard Alicia booing. I saw her on screen, and I saw her and heard her boo when Tenille Dashwood was out there. So I mean, the loungers were there.
Did you say she was at both?
No, she was at the Overdrive.
Turning Point.
Oh, she was at Turning Point. Okay. I'll have to watch that back. Let me know where she was sitting.
Very nice. Well, I'd like to hear from Bill Gardner because I know for a fact I know he was there, and that's somebody I know. So, Bill, if you're still hanging out in here, give us your thoughts on that live crowd because you were making a lot of noise. There was a couple of guys in the front row at Overdrive making some noise. But Turning Point, guys, I want to talk about. There was about 10 matches. It was a pretty heavy card. It was pretty loaded card. I mean, it was anchored by Sammy giving Brian Cage his rematch from his world title rematch. So they're kind of, if you notice something, guys, they got Cage's rematch out of the way. They got Rich Swann getting a title shot coming up at December. No Surrender in December, and then you got Tessa in January. So you're lining up these title shots.
And Eddie can still call his shot. Remember,
Eddie still has the call.
He's got the trophy that he drinks out of. And I gotta say, the way Impact have been running this past year or so, the feuds are like forgotten. When something's over, it's not just scrapped. Like there's a lot of continuity, if you will. And I'm telling you, everybody's got their eyes on Tessa to knock Sami Callihan off his perch. But I'm looking at Eddie Edwards because Eddie Edwards has the Call Your Shot challenge. And let's face it, Eddie and Sami have been down some tough roads. Damn near murder in the woods.
Yeah, and I thought the whole thing with because didn't Eddie just face Ace for the X Division Championship like within the last week?
There was I don't not to ruin anything, Kyle, but weren't you nothing in New York, right? Did they face off in New York?
No. I'm talking about like last week on TV. Was it like the first night on Axis? Didn't they face off or something?
They had a match, that hardcore match where Ace did that.
They're involved in a very, very big feud, but I believe the feud's over.
Here's the thing, what I was saying, though, guys. I think there's one more match to be had because you had Eddie and Alicia come up on, Ace in the hotel, attack him, so they got one up on him. There's got to be at least one more match to close this whole thing out, I'd imagine. Got to be at least one more.
You'd think so, because I thought he already cashed in his college shot thing. That's what I'm talking about with the whole his match that he had with Ace. I thought that's what that was, that he cashed in his college shot with the X Division Championship. But apparently he didn't because he brought his trophy to these shows. So I was like, okay, that's not done yet. And
that was, I think they said it was a non-title as well, that match. It was just a hardcore match.
Yeah.
So, he still got it. So you got Eddie and lurking around in there too. So there's a lot going on around the world title picture, guys.
A whole lot going on. And Clackman, what do you hate me for? I thought we were buddies. Clackman pulled one on me. Let me tell you a little something.
Let's hear the story about the Clackman.
So at the New York tapings, they did have it. They had it Friday night, actually, Clackman. You're incorrect. They didn't have it Thursday, but they had it Friday. But so Thursday night, after the New York tapings, we all went live for Tuesday night's Impact broadcast. And in there, we were beating on, if you guys remember, me and Bison were beating on the MLW advertisements, correct?
Yes.
So Friday, I'm standing online, and this guy comes up to me. I've never seen him before. I have no idea who he is, with a real serious face. And he's like, "You guys got a problem with MLW?" And like me and Bison looked at each other like, huh? And he's like, yeah, you guys were talking on the Impact Lounge. And then he's just like, it's me, Clackman. Like, oh, Clackman. I thought we were going to have to throw down. God damn.
Nice.
They're watching. But yeah, I got to meet Clackman. Clackman, good dude. Hell of an Impact fan.
Clackman threatened you in public. Holy shit. Look at you got listeners threatening you now, Kyle.
That's it. No, Clackman was cool, man. He was cool.
Kyle doesn't like me bringing up other, brands while we're talking Impact Wrestling, which is fine.
And speaking of Friday night, I might have herpes. Let me tell you why.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. As of Friday night, I might have herpes. During Joey Ryan's match, his lollipop flew into the crowd. And when it hit the ground, lollipop shrapnel went everywhere. And Bison can vouch, piece of lollipop fell into my can of beer.
No way.
Dude, Bison was there, man. Bison.
No way.
Well, dude, we were in the front row. Where else is it going to go? The lollipop ended up going on the ground, and Bison threw it back into the ring. And then somehow it ended up on the entrance ramp after that. But when the lollipop first came into us, because there were actually 2 lollipops. When the first lollipop came in and Bison threw it back, piece of shrapnel went into my beer. And I didn't notice it at first because the lollipop fell right at our feet. And then when I went to take a sip, I heard something clinging around in there and tasted a little off. And I took a look in there, and there was a piece of lollipop in my beer. So now I've been blessed by Joey Ryan, but I might have herpes. So.
Well, this is in honor of you possibly having to take medication for the rest of your life.
Hey,
wait, did you drink the rest of the beer? That's what I'm waiting for.
That's none of your business. I leave that to myself. That's none of your business there, Trent.
You son of a bitch. All right,
man. You know how much a beer costs in Melrose Ballroom?
What a scumbag.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for you to play.
We're talking $9 a beer, man.
Yeah, fuck it. You got to drink it. You got to drink it. I guess you have to drink it at that point.
You got to drink it at that point.
YOLO, man. Whatever happens, happens. If he dies, he dies.
I felt like I was part of the action. Front row. You're getting Thursday night. Moose spit in the air. He spit blood out of his mouth, and I have a picture of it. The blood landed right at my feet. It was this close to clacking me right in the spectacles. I almost took Moose blood to the face.
What the hell? What the hell kind of toxic environment are we running here, man?
Dude, front row, man. You're getting blood, sweat splashed at you. When they do a guardrail spot and you're right there, you're getting Madman Fulton's dreadlocks in your face. I mean, you're part of the action. You very well might just be wrestling.
Might as well. Jesus. All right. Well, let's talk a few matches, guys. Let's start with Turning Point here. We kicked off Jordynne Grace, Tessa Blanchard defeating Havoc and Madison Rayne. Did you guys catch the ring announcer mispronouncing Jordan, called her Jordienne, and you could see Tessa laughing, and she's like Jordienne, and then Jordan goes Jordine, and she goes up to the ring announcer and like dresses him down, and she like totally, you could see him, and he's like, I'm sorry, like totally dressed him down. Basically, it's like, do your job. You got one job. It's to get the fucking names right.
The Y is silent. The Y is silent.
The Y is silent. And if you're watching the product, you should know it's Jordan. You should be studying a product you're going to be, ring announcing for. I had the same problem in AAW one time. We hired a ring announcer. The guy got everything wrong. I'm like, I sat with him for an hour before giving him all the details. He announced Ace Austin from Toronto, Ontario, Canada at one point. I was like, what is going on with this guy? Anyway,
a little Impact throwback for you. The greatest ring announcer moment of all time was that one time back in TNA on the Spike era when they had Scott Steiner be the ring announcer for them.
Oh my God,
that's one of my favorites.
One of the best. Yep. If you guys haven't seen that, I highly recommend going to YouTube, wherever you can find Scott Steiner.
Well, dude, I finally started digging through Impact Plus a little more, and they just started putting more Spike episodes up, so I got to find that.
07 just went up on
2007.
All right, so not a bad match. Pretty straightforward, but it's all featured women in the Knockouts division, so not too bad. About 6 minutes, nothing too crazy. Now, I want to talk about this one. They had the PPW guys. That was the host promotion here. Clutch Adams defeating Charles Manson, Deshaun Pratt, Evander James, Facade, and KC Navarro. Now, from what I understand, Deshaun Pratt was Amasis in Chikara without the mask now. So, and I've heard of Facade, but the other guys have never heard of any of these guys. This is kind of cool because I was telling my buddy I was watching with, I'm like, that's a good way for them to scout easily. Like one of these guys can, they're all going to kill it, right? They're all going to go out, balls out because they know Impact's watching. Easy way to get seen and maybe sign one of these guys for the X Division. Did you guys see this match? What did you think of it? Who stood out to you?
Oh, this was all over the place. I got to say, I tuned out a little bit for some of the local talent, but Facade, I mean, whenever Facade is moving around, and yet someone just said in the chat that he's Alicia says he's going places. Yeah, he's legit going places. Right before now, I know you're going to hate me for mention. Okay, we'll just say another company hired someone, and right before that happened, Sammy Guevara and Facade were in Japan for, I believe it was DDT Wrestling. So they did a tour in Japan, and right before all that other company stuff happened. I won't say the company because it pisses off Kyle. But yeah, he's
why don't you? Because I think you're wearing a Brock Lesnar T-shirt. Am I wrong?
Oh my God!
No, I'm not. It's not.
I see. Eat, sleep. Stand up, Jaybone.
It's everybody's favorite.
Even worse. Even worse.
Third sheet.
It's everyone's favorite.
Absolute moron.
Who would buy that? Who would buy that?
Cut his feed. Cut this goddamn feed.
I didn't buy it. It was given to me.
All right.
Facade for sure stuck out. I was telling my buddy, I was like, Facade reminds me of every 2000s, early 2000s indie guy in like, especially in the Midwest, who like was like balls out, killing it. He had this like crazy look, like he just walked off of like a Crayola factory, like he looked nuts. But I loved it. I think he was great. He's different for today. I would love to see Facade on Impact, no doubt. With his valet, Danny Moe. Definitely throw them out there, man. Facade impressed me big time. Put him out for sure. I am down for that. All right, let's keep moving. I want to keep moving along. I'm not going to spend too much time. Elgin defeated Mike Orlando. Not pretty. That was an 11-minute match. They gave him a lot of time, but it was a Haas match. You had Mike Elgin, power move Elgin. It was Now here's what I'm saying about Elgin. I got to ask people here. We got to fit Elgin into this title picture somehow, right? I mean, he's not had a bad match all for the last year. How do you fit him in when you got Rich Swann coming up, you got Tessa, you got Moose in the mix, Eddie's got a title shot. When do you fit in Elgin? Do you wait a little while? Do you get him over to Slammiversary maybe next year until you bring him back in? Jaybone, let me start with you on this one. What do you think about Elgin?
Elgin I think it ranks right up there with what Moose is doing. Consistency. If he's consistently having good matches, win or lose, which he's going to win most of them, probably like 95% of them. Not that I'm counting, but he's going to be built to win. So at some point within the next year, 2020, and this is something that they brought up in at least one, if not both shows, about future champions in 2020 next year coming up sooner than you think. Aside from all the Sammy and Tessa stuff, Michael Elgin and Moose absolutely have to be in that conversation, because what they're doing is just, you could put the Impact World Championship on either Moose or Mike, and I'd be happy with it because they're strong people. Moose, now I'm a little critical of what happened in the next match, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that too. Whose ass? No, but somebody's yeah, but yeah, Mike Elgin is just. I was not fond of this particular match. I felt like it just moved way too slow. When you have guys in the next match like Fallah Bahh and Moose who are just lighting each other up. I stayed awake for that one. Let me tell you that much. But yeah, Mike Elgin and both Moose are killing it this year. In 2020, someone's going to be champ.
All right. Kyle, did you like Elgin? There's some people in the chat who don't like Elgin, especially a couple of ladies in the chat are not fans of Elgin. What do you think, man?
I'm curious to see if they are not fans of Elgin's in-ring work or the supposed accusations that he's been cleared of, the real-life controversy, whatever that was.
Right.
I'm curious because now I wasn't a fan of Elgin for a while, but then as I kept watching him, he won me over. And let me say,
was it the mullet?
I didn't like.
Got rid of the mullet.
But you got to see him live and in person to really appreciate him. Just from seeing him at the New York shows, there's something about his in-ring style, and I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but it's like when he's wrestling guys, it's like he's really bashing them in the face. It's that
he's a heavyweight
style. Yeah, man. I'm a huge fan of Elgin. But you talk about fitting him into the title picture. But as we said before, you have a long line of people, lined up behind Sami Callihan. Yeah. I really don't know how you're going to fit him in. But then if you look at the loungers right now in the chat, I put a few up on the screen. This is just more of our argument for we need a secondary title.
A lot of people saying that. I've been saying that too.
Bullshit like the Grand Championship, a television title, or Trent, I'll give you credit for it. I'm not going to lie and pretend I thought of it. The Access title.
It's got a cool ring to it. The Access title. I'm okay with that. I think it sounds kind of cool. It's like a TV title, but it's the Access title. Why not? Why the hell not? You need one. There's too many goddamn guys in the middle who aren't fighting for anything. It's like, what do you do? You're just having matches. At least they can have something to fight for. That's what you need a secondary title for.
Hell of a talent, man.
No doubt. Let's go on that next one. Jay, I'm going to let you kick this off because you brought up Moose and Fallah Bahh. Well, you were going to say something about this. Let's go here. What were you going to say about Moose and Fallah?
Oh, just, for as many times as we've seen these two face each other within the last year, and I'm not complaining because they always put on a good match. It's always Moose winning. And I feel so bad for Fallah Bahh. I keep talking about this. Hey, I don't care how long Fallah Bahh's been around. The guy's slimming down. He's a workhorse. He's always an ass kicker. He looks great in the ring. His athleticism is top notch for a big guy. And to see this guy lose all the time, it bums me out, man. It's like, at a show like this, where it's an important show, but it's not as an important show because it is, a show that you have to pay for to see. You could have handed Moose a loss here, and it wouldn't have hurt him. It would have been great to see Fallah Bahh get a win here.
Fallah could use a big win. I could see why Moose would go over on TV, but super card like this, I could see Fallah easy time to give Fallah a win. Did they really damage the ring? That's crazy. That was a crazy superplex.
Insane. I thought they were gonna pull a good old Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow and
right through the ring.
Motherfucker.
That's I love watching. I think Fallah is the dude is so good. You notice one thing about Fallah? He doesn't get winded at all. Like that guy moves around like crazy and doesn't get winded.
And I feel like he just gets better and better since he came into Impact. He wins the crowd everywhere he goes. Dude, Fallah is just a true talent in his own lane. That guy. Another reason to give him bring in a secondary title. Somebody like Fallah Bahh would greatly benefit from it.
He's a great dude, also, man. I've had a couple conversations with the guy. He is a really, really cool guy. So. Only the best for Fallah. Really, but again, I want a guy like Fallah to be fighting for something. It'd be cool to get Fallah a title. Why not?
Yeah.
Panda Bear should have a belt. Why not? All right. Moving on. It's the longest reigning Knockouts champion. It's Taya Valkyrie defending against Tenille Dashwood. Taya coming out with Johnny Bravo and Mr. Mundo, the puppy.
Mr. Mundo,
not Hennigan.
Trent, you tell us. You got clarification, confirmation that about the dog's name. Let us know.
I got clarification. I talked to John, and he's like, no matter what they say on air, calling him Hennigan, the dog's name is Mr. Mundo. He's even got his own Twitter account. I followed it from our account, our show account. It's Mr. Mundo. He was in the house accompanying the two of them. So Taya still longest reigning. She is continuing to pad this number, man. This is crazy how long this reign is. She might get to a year if she makes it to Homecoming. I think was January 6th, I believe, last year. She might make it right to Homecoming and get to that year, man. That might, or the Homecoming time period.
It'd be hard to kill.
Hard to kill. Hard to kill is the 12th. So if she makes the hard to kill, she's solid. She's at a year right there. That'd be awesome. She beats Tenille Dashwood. I'm glad. I'm not a fan of Tenille being the champion. I don't think Tenille's got the personality to carry that title. I will say, though, guys, probably Tenille's best match I've seen so far out of her since this run in Impact, though. She had energy. She had fire. I got to give it to her. This is probably my favorite match of hers. since coming to
Oh,
Impact.
was she, or was the great Taya Valkyrie just carrying her? So
Taya's fantastic.
workhorse.
But I gotta say that I think Tenille did show some fire in this one. I'll give her that credit. But
you know what though? Like, I feel like I hate to use like those terms because we're just fans. We're on our side of the guardrail, but she's not over. I feel like I get what they were trying to do, bring her in, capitalizing off some WWE buzz. But the live crowds I've been at, boo her. Alicia personally booed her, and I didn't hear anybody else cheer for her. I don't see any reaction for her anywhere online. Anybody's looking at Impact Twitter, it's us. I don't see it, and I feel like if they put the belt on her, wasted opportunity. I feel like there's a lot of other people that have been paying dues and breaking their ass in Impact Wrestling, people like Kiera Hogan, Havoc, people that, really deserve that belt. I feel like you just come through the door and get a strap thrown on you because you used to be in WWE. That's old shit. That's the new regime. I don't want to see that from them. That was a TNA trope, if you will.
I agree. I'm glad they didn't do it, especially because Taya's on fire right now. I don't want
Taya's the best. And let's bring it to the loungers real quick. Hakeem Fullerton writes, who do you guys think will beat Taya for the title? Let's go around quick and then get the answers, put them on screen, and then we'll move along with the review. Gotta let the loungers
Jordan Grace. I'm picking Jordan Grace. She's ready, 100% ready to go. Jordan Grace is ready to roll on that title. I think she's coming into her own week to week. She's starting to get inch closer and closer, getting Taya's head. I like it. I like the slow build to Jordan too. Don't do it this quick. Let it build up. But yeah, let's hear from everybody else. We got Havoc. There's a couple ladies out there who are in the mix. So let's see what everybody. Rosemary's on. Look, Colby Cooper. Get out these comments, Kyle. God damn it.
They're up.
But let's keep moving on here, guys. Now in the next match, this is what I voted as match of the weekend. I think this was the match of the weekend. Stole the weekend. The North defeated Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Titles on the line. I think this match, this just was completely next level shit. Kyle, I want to talk to you on this one, starting off with that. What'd you think of this one? I was like, if the North ever loses these belts, it should be to these two, because this was like the chemistry between these four was incredible. What'd you think?
Fantastic match here. Definitely a highlight of the show. I'm with you on the North, but I feel like the North is doing such great work. They are the premier tag team, the flagship tag team of Impact Wrestling. I can't see the belts coming off them anytime soon, personally.
I can't either. That's the thing. They're on fire right now. They're on fire, man. But I think these four, the chemistry with these four was something else. It's like when you catch lightning in a bottle like that, you capitalize on it, and these guys got something. And I think this should just keep. I want to see this feud on TV. I want to keep extending this a little bit. Don't burn it out. But maybe I think you can get this to Hard to Kill. I think you can, if you're smart, get this to Hard to Kill, no doubt. What do you think, Jaybone?
This match, this might sound a little harsh, but I say this match saved this show, because I wasn't into the Elgin Mike Orlando match. Moose versus Fallah Bahh, like I said, that kind of bummed me out. A good match, but it bummed me out because I was really hoping Fallah would get a win here. Taya versus Tenille Dashwood. Kyle, once again, man, you took the words right out of my damn mouth, because she carried this match. Tenille did use some different offense in here. I'll give that to her. But man, it's like it's all slow-mo.
She's not on Taya's level.
It's slow-mo. It's not like watching like Jordan and Tessa just have a banger of a match, or Jessica Havoc, or throw anyone in there. It was just hard to watch. This tag match saved this show for me, because I wasn't going to watch any more of this tag match, but I knew these guys were going to pull it out. This was amazing. These guys are so much fun to watch. The North are killing it, and Willie Mack and Rich Swann they do have a lot of chemistry. They are a new tag team.
We are being pranked in the chat right now. We are being bombarded. Nick Horton's Cumsock writes many times, my dilly dough has torn my pooter hole and I liked it. That's
wow. What is
I
happening?
haven't seen a troll in here.
very funny. That's
Very nice. Very nice. Can
that's
our regular listeners drown that out?
That's a block out of here.
We've very nice. Thank you. All right. Well, so sorry for that interruption, folks. Well, let's see, guys. I think if you're smart, we can get this over to Hard to Kill. Let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. We got the troll out of the chat, guys. No worries. Kyle's on it. He's on it.
I think that's our first crank yanker.
First crank yanker we've ever had. I'm shocked. I didn't expect the crank yanker. I guess so.
For everything.
They follow me.
That's how you know.
It's summer blame Jaybone.
That's how you know we're going places. On the crank yanker.
I'm going to blame Jaybone.
If
they're coming in.
If they follow from Smash This Podcast to here, you're welcome.
So next one, guys. Eddie Edwards and Mobley Shera. This one you could see now. Shera had a bad weekend. I'm gonna just rack up both matches here. The one against Willie Mack also. He botched a lot. And at the end of this match, you can see Eddie look frustrated. You can see Willie look frustrated at the end of the match the next night. Shera, dude, I like the guy. He's a super nice guy. I just think like it's crazy. He's not getting as quick as he should. He's had a run. He had an Impact run. He had an NXT run in training. I don't think he made it to TV. And now he's back here. It's like, what?
That's a thumbs down. We're spazzing out here. That was a thumbs down. They've hacked the bite board. Oh no, they're back again.
Oh man.
Oh no, we're getting attacked. They're invading my bite board and they're invading the chat. SCU,
we'll get
Golden State SCU. Okay, yeah, I'm not even going to acknowledge them anymore. They come in. Oh man, we have. Somebody has a crush on us, Trent.
I guess so.
Someone's got a bone.
Look at this absolute moron.
Absolute moron.
Perfect soundbite. Guys, I think the Shera thing, man. I don't know, man. He's not getting there as quick as he should. He looks great. He's a big dude, muscular. He's got a good look, but he's just not. He's not there. Like, yeah, something's going on. Maybe I don't know. Something's in his head. I'm not really sure what his deal is, but my fear is he holding back the other two in the hit squad? Later on, is he holding them back?
He's not up to his full potential, and there's no excuse for it because he's being coached by the great Gamma. No excuse for it. No excuse for it.
No excuse. The great Gamma, who you met, who blessed you.
No, he blessed Bison. I met him, but Bison got
great picture. Yeah, that man. I know we're jumping ahead to the next show, but that match that Shera had with Willie Mack, damn, that was
it was some hard hitting. It was some hard hitting stuff. So, all right, going on from there, Ace Austin, Jake Crist. This was a rematch of the X Division title. Way for Jake to kind of, I guess, justify a little bit of a rematch because he lost it in the ladder match. But these two they're Ohio guys. They're out of the school. They're out of the Rockstar Pro Ohio cult, so they know each other pretty well. I got to say, this was a fantastic match. Fantastic match. I think Jake versus anybody versus everything, you could say, is phenomenal. My fear now is that he's becoming that utility guy where you're like, oh, we need a good match. Let's give it to Jake, but he's not going to rack up all the wins that he needs. He's going to make everybody look great, which he's done with Tessa a bunch. He's done with everybody. He had the title run, which is nice, but he hasn't had a strong run because he's a great utility guy to just keep having great matches. And look, it's good. And I'm sure he doesn't mind putting guys over like Ace Austin, who's his friend. But man, but I want to see Jake get a little more of a breakout. I mean, Sammy's the champ now. Let's see Jake get stronger too. But he looks good. He had a great match with Ace Austin. I think it was fantastic. 10 minutes. They gave him a nice little long amount of time. But still further solidifying Ace Austin as the X Division champion. Kyle, what'd you think of this one? You're wearing the man's T-shirt.
We just got bombarded again. This time their username was Gail Kim. We're getting attacked. Somebody has a fucking boner for us, and I want to know who it is.
That's incredible. Whatever. Let them come in.
Yeah, hey, we'll take the viewership.
We'll take the viewer. You're giving us view.
It's a view. Yeah, it's a view. Yeah,
take the view. Just block you when you try your stand-up comedy there. But,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I got a little thrown off there, Trent. Where are we?
I'm asking about Ace Austin, Jake Crist.
Oh, Ace Austin. Shout out to him.
I'm gonna bang his wife.
Hell of a match there. Good to see Jake Crist out there. Fresh off the Golden Draw run. We
What do you lose your thought?
No, we just keep getting bombarded. I can't. You know what? I'm putting the chat away for a second. A hell of a match there. I gotta say though, Ace Austin is just proving himself more and more. Every time I see him, he gets a little better. And it's funny because it's like we're watching his growth in real time. Because when he first came into Impact Wrestling, didn't care for him too much. And once they put him in this feud, wife banging, he was already proving himself in the ring. But this guy is just getting better and better, and I think he's going to have a long, memorable run in Impact Wrestling. And Jake Crist, you can't go wrong with Jake Crist.
No, it's true. It's true. All right, cool. Next one, we go from that to we go to RVD taking on Rhino. DQ singles match. This is kind of furthering their feud a little bit. This is another one, guys. Jaybone, I think this is going to go all the way to Hard to Kill. I have a feeling they're going to stretch this one out a while because it keeps these two tied up. You're building RVD as a heel now. What do you think of this one? It was a DQ, so it didn't really. Obviously, you're not going to get your solid win here because you're trying to stretch this out.
Yeah,
think of this one?
They kept saying, during this match, that it's a grudge match. It's not a no DQ match. As in, okay, we're giving them this match to get this out of their system so they can, pound the shit out of each other. But they still have rules in place. That's the big thing that Josh kept on saying in so many words. And yeah, that's the thing. And what we're also seeing here is the expose, if you will, of heel RVD. And it was awesome when he's coming out there with Katie Forbes, and she's just, her ass was everywhere. It was hilarious.
She was all over her man.
She was all over her man. She was all over the ringside, stretching, showing her ass off to
In my ass.
Don Callis and Josh, which left them speechless at times. It was it was great. Yeah, it was great because Don Callis is like, well, now what? But the best part of this whole match was RVD looking like he's going to do his classic stuff and then flipping off the crowd like, no, you don't get to see that. You can't see that, but you don't get to see that.
I did like that. I did like that he was going with the Rolling Thunder, and then he stopped and he flipped off the crowd.
He was
classic heel move.
He was going to go coast to coast, just jump down, cut it off. Perfect.
It's cool. Like Ryan over here saying he's finally acting like a legit heel. He's at that point, that age where he's like, I don't give a shit, man. I'm just gonna do whatever. And he kind of feels that way, and I dig it. I dig heel RVD.
I gotta make a point about this. I'll get to the actual match in a second, but I feel like I think RVD is doing a hell of a job as a heel. I think bringing Katie Forbes out there really sets it over the top. I like all the little details, all the small details in the ring, about to do his high spot and then, flipping off the crowd. But what really bothered me, and I'm going to go back to the New York tapings from this weekend, I feel like no matter what, the crowd still loved him. When he came out, people were still chanting RVD. The crowd would cheer him for a whole match, but then boo him at those little spots, but still be behind him the whole match. And I feel like they have a lot of work in front of them to how do you make this guy hated by the crowd universally? Because he's somebody that's so well established and so loved throughout all the years. How do you turn him into a heel properly? Now, I'm only basing off of one live experience in one state. That's New York, and New York tends to be one of the smarkier crowds. But I'd like to hear from William and Alicia in the chat here because they were both at the shows. Was the crowd behind booing RVD? I would like to know that from a personal experience because I don't know. I just kept getting this vibe that the crowd still loves him, and it's going to be tough.
It's not going to be an overnight thing.
You're also in Pennsylvania. You know, I mean that's ECW country. You know, I mean, you're not going to get.
Well, I'm talking my own
RVD
experience
hate
from New York, and I guess it's still the East Coast crowd. But let's see where the next few sets of shows take us. But hell of a match here. RVD, when he first came into Impact, people were a little funny about him. Us here on the show, we felt like he seemed less than inspired. But now they're giving him some good stuff to work with, and he's really going out there and killing it. Also on Twitter, he's backing up Impact at all costs, trolling the haters and naysayers. RVD is the fucking man. And you got to give RVD a shout-out, too, because these are two guys that really should be at the end stage of their career. They've been around since, like, the late 80s, early 90s, and they're still going out there and putting on tremendous shows. And that's one thing that I especially love about Impact is that we get veterans, legends mixed in with all the fresh up-and-coming talent. There's so much variety in the roster. There's something for everybody. But,
that's true.
But specifically on this match, I'm liking the feud between RVD and Rhino. It's a throwback to old ECW, and there's a lot they can do with it. There really is.
Remember, Rhino's one who took the TV title when RVD broke his leg, man. So, there's a little history there. These guys got some history. I love that the veterans.
Monty Brown.
Is that Monty Brown?
That's Monty Brown. War Machine, Rhino.
There's a lot of rumor that Monty Brown is going to come out of retirement for that throwback show, WrestleMania weekend. There's a lot of rumors going around.
That's where you do it. Now, Moose called out Monty Brown on Twitter the morning after Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory.
The morning after Bound for Glory, he called out Monty Brown on Twitter. And how many times on the show have we all said we would love to see, of all the legends coming back into Impact, Monty Brown is somebody that we would love to see. I saw pictures of him recently at some sort of fan convention. The guy's in killer shape. He's still ripped.
Phenomenal.
He's in killer shape. He is somebody I would love to, if you're going to bring some legends in, some throwback guys, we got to see the alpha male pounce one more time. We have to.
I got a friend who's a worker. I'm not going to put names out, but I got a buddy who works out at the same gym. At the same gym as Monty Brown. And he says he's like, I see him, dude, and that guy can get in the ring tomorrow.
Exactly.
That guy's ready to go.
Then what better, place than Impact, because it bothered me when he left to go to the WWE and his career ended abruptly. And I feel like he never really got to say goodbye to the place that was his home. And now TNA is dead. We're in a new company, a different direction. But he is somebody that can come back, and I think that the fans will really gravitate towards and get a good reaction from. I think he'll get a much better reaction than Ken Shamrock has gotten personally.
I think Monty. A lot of people might not know him. That's the thing too. Shamrock is a little more universally known. But Jaybone, you're going to say something.
More of the reason to buy Impact Plus.
Well, yeah. Do you want to see? I'd love to see Monty Brown, but do you want to see Monty Brown versus Moose?
Yes, I do.
I truly do.
After Moose takes out Ken Shamrock, he takes out Monty Brown. Have a nice long angle where Moose just destroys TNA legends. Why not? That's a classic wrestling trope.
Because he's been doing that for a bit. Now he kicked RVD's ass. RVD stuck around. He beat Ken Shamrock. Who was before?
I mean, you're not going to put the guy in the title picture anytime soon, so this is something cool, something to give him. I think it's a perfect spot for him on the card for a while.
Yeah.
I think so. I'd like to see it. I would love to see Monty Brown and Moose. That would just be. It's almost like the two generations. It's like Moose is the Monty Brown of today. He has that personality. He's that charm. He has, So we'll see. We'll see if that works out. I got a feeling there's a lot of surprises for that show coming up. Let's wrap this.
My only thing is, as long as he moves in the ring better than Tenille Dashwood, that's my only.
I'm sure he would. Let's wrap this one up here, guys. Brian Cage got his title rematch against Sami Callihan. They went about 14 and a half minutes. Sami wins. He retains. Brian Cage's title picture is closed for right now. He's back to the end of the line. You get your one rematch, and it's back to the end of the line. There's way too many people ready to go now. Like, there's too many ahead of him at this point. So I think I like that they did it on a show like this. You didn't need another TV match for these guys. They had a pay-per-view. They had TV. Feud's been going on for 2 months. Wrap it up here. It was totally perfect. They both look strong, too. Cage did not go out looking like a punk. He still looks strong. That's fine. The thing now is, what happens to Brian Cage? Where the hell do you put him? Where can you put Brian Cage at this point? He had a weird year, very strange year this year. I don't know what you do with Brian Cage. I'm pretty lost where you can put the guy. Loungers in the chat, throw some ideas out. Tell us what you think. I'm just lost on where you do with him. Jaybone, what would you
In my
say?
ass.
That's where you put him.
Yeah, you could do that for sure.
If he was beat down like he was during the Elgin rivalry, then I would say, okay, take a month or 2 off, heal up, come back, new year, whatever, 2020, new rivalry. But that's the thing. He looks good. He is healthy. So, yeah, that's a huge question mark. He looked great at Bound for Glory. He looked great here at Turning Point. I don't know, and Melissa Santos wasn't there, so that's kind of just, I don't know, man. I'm just glad he's healthy. But yeah,
he's healthy. But what do you do with him? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Kyle, what would you say, man?
Well,
what do you do with him? Sammy, we know, is on his way with other shit.
Desmond official
X Division, huh?
says throw him in the X Division. I mean, we've seen it before. Could see it again. Could be a place to stick him for a bit. I mean, you got to put him to the end of the line for a while. Unfortunate that his title run went the way it went, but that stuff is history now. He lost his rematch against Sammy. He's out for a while. It's a good question there, Trent. Where do you put this guy on the card? Now, Hakeem Fullerton thinks that you should put Moose and Cage into a feud. Not a bad one, leading to a blow-off match for a shot at the world title at Slammiversary. Those are 2 guys who could definitely stick together. But I just don't see him in the world title feud for a while. But, Trent, this would be another good place for a secondary title. Give him something for a while to, strengthen him up and move him back up. Because eventually, a long time from now, down the line, you have to get that title back on Cage. But it's got to be maybe even next year. It's got to be a long time from now.
Why do you guys think they don't have a secondary title? We can't be the only. There's got to be guys backstage. And like I said, I know them. It's one question I've never asked of my friends who work there and people I got in the back. Why it shocks me that nobody's like, hey, we really should get a secondary title to mix it up with the
it makes sense
with all these guys.
They have the large enough roster for it. It makes total sense. I think that from the old days, they had a bit of a tendency to bring in new titles and get rid of them. And as time went on, the titles seemed to mean less and less. So I think maybe they're waiting a little while to, pull the trigger on it, make it seem fresh, bring it out of nowhere. But we have the roster for it, and we have guys that need it. Like we were saying, guys like Fallah Bahh. Somebody like Moose. Moose would benefit off of it right now. Brian Cage. The man makes the title. I think you could really do something nice with it. And I'm with you, Trent. Access title all the way. So, yeah, I think Cage should either jump in a tag team with somebody, not sure who, put him in a tag team with somebody, or have him bounce around the X Division or something. Keep him in a prominent spot on the show. Don't just stick him on the bench. But he's got to go away from the title for a long time.
What if it was seen as it looks like the whole Joey Ryan, Ken Shamrock thing is one and done, which is fine. I'm good with that. I don't want to see that go on forever because I don't know what you would do with that. It was fun. It was nice to see Ken Shamrock do something different. I would say, what about Cage and Shamrock?
That is
as a tag team or a feud?
No. A feud. He's talking a feud.
Okay, I could see that.
I like that.
Yeah.
That is a really good take. What do you guys think of that in the chat? Cage and Shamrock would be very interesting. I can see. I can get behind that.
Classic muscle guy versus modern muscle guy.
Not bad.
Not that.
Definitely get behind that.
I don't want that. I don't want that to be like I'm knocking on Shamrock because some muscle dudes get a knock because that's all they were muscle dudes and they couldn't wrestle for shit. Please don't twist it like that. Ken Shamrock was great.
UFC Hall of Famer. Speaks for itself.
He's a UFC Hall of Famer. You know, he was at All Glory. He did like a live podcast with Jimmy Jacobs. And, you know, Jay, you heard that. He's had a rough life, man. Ken Shamrock had a fucked up life. Like the dude.
That's an episode of Jimmy's podcast. I got to listen to that.
I don't know if they actually put it on Jimmy's podcast, but like Jimmy interviewed him in the middle of the ring.
Okay.
At one point, like between matches. And dude, this guy's life was fucked. Like he went through like shit, like his whole life until he found combat sports, man. So good for him. Definitely try to find that somewhere because that was pretty nuts. But all right, let's quickly go over Overdrive. That was not much of a long pay-per-view or a Twitch special or anything. So a little shorter.
Real quick.
Yeah.
While we're between things.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit.
Remind people while we got a decent live crowd here. Want to remind you guys, if you have not voted in the Pro Wrestling 2019 Podcast Awards.
Yes.
We put that link in the chat right now, so there's no excuses.
There you go. I'll do it. I'll put it in there, and you guys can go to it, and we should put it in the description afterwards too. But it is shared on social media. The Wrestle Hub is hosting it. They've been sharing it. Go to the Google Doc. You can only vote once, but vote.
You gotta be signed into your Gmail. Do it.
Yeah.
But it's not fair, guys, because on a question, there's 2 Impact Lounges and Total Nonstop Impact. That shouldn't be like that. That fucks up our chances, and there's nobody else on there with that problem. I don't like that.
That's why I'm telling everybody, vote.
Do it.
Total Nonstop Impact.
Oh yeah, vote.
Yeah, they got listed.
Computer and vote on your cell phone browser. Double up.
There's an other category in every single one too. So if we're not in the category,
put us in there.
Write it in.
Yeah, make sure you're choosing the right one. I don't know why we got listed that way. Somebody didn't do a little cleanup or research there, or whatever it might be. But that's the case.
Yep. And if we win, Jaybone will show us all his penis.
I have seen that penis.
That's what I heard.
Jaybone, I don't know if Mrs. Jaybone.
Nobody wants to see that.
The full bone action. I don't know if anybody wants to see it. We might gain or lose this entire listenership we have here.
Bone I'm showing off is Manny Bones behind.
Manny Bones. God damn.
I thought it was Sid Bones. I thought you named him after our buddy Sid Bones.
Hey, we'll give him a different name every show.
There we go.
Name over here.
A different thing, yeah.
All right, Manny Bones it is today. All right, let's jump into Overdrive.
I'm going to put it in the description, and I'm going to put it in the chat.
All right.
Okay. Just give me a minute.
Let's get into Overdrive, and I'd like to hear from anybody who was there live at Overdrive. I'm looking at William Gardner and Alicia. Give us your live take as we move along for each match, please, because we're needy, and we're
needy for sure.
We're needy. we're beggars.
Yeah, so if you're at Overdrive, leave your comments. Let's hear from you. Here's the thing. I watched it. I didn't take match notes because I was like thinking, I usually find results and then I kind of triggers my memory. I cannot, for the life of me, find results of the show online. Like I can ballpark off the match listings a little bit, but there's no results listed anywhere, which is kind of odd. So we're gonna have to kind of wing it a little bit.
It's an underground B film of podcasts of wrestling shows.
While I'm looking up a few things about it, now let's get the cat. Let's address the elephant in the room on this one, guys. The venue. It was in like a common area of a mall.
I liked it.
Of the Scranton Mall.
I liked it.
You liked it. Tell me why you liked it. Let's hear this.
It reminded me of the first episode of Nitro in that regard, but it was something different, something I'd never seen really in wrestling, obviously, aside from Nitro. It was different. I would like to see more mall wrestling. And in fact, the brewery I work at, we're trying to get a brewery wrestling show going. I would love for Impact to come to Long Island. I don't know if they'll do that, but like when they did that at the brewery months ago, it's cool to see wrestling in a different atmosphere, different place.
The brewery thing I can get behind for sure. I've been talking to a brewery about AAW. I've been talking to Mars Brewery about that. They're interested in hosting us too. It's a matter of seeing if it works. But It's different. Yeah, the mall thing, it was weird. But, it's going to be one of those things where people are going to use that to jump on Impact, right? And talk some shit.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
It's different. And, again, it's not an Impact. They're being hosted by PPW. And I do like that you had the bigger one the night before. This was kind of a Sunday night. This is Sunday night indie wrestling is what it came. What it felt like a Sunday night indie show, casual, pretty low key. But I got to say, everybody brought it. Everybody did bring it on this one.
And I will point out
the roster.
I noticed the production or camera work, if you will, was a little crisper on Overdrive than it was on Turning Point. At least for me on my Sony television set.
There was some lag on Turning Point. Overdrive was definitely crisper for sure.
A lot crisper.
For sure. They're getting better.
Yep. No cell phones. Looked like they had the big cameras out.
They're getting better about a lot of the specials, getting those broadcasted out. There was a rough patch there for a while, but they're getting much better about that, which I appreciate because it was a little tough for a bit. Okay, so
I'm glad you brought up the cell phone thing. I want to talk about this for 2 seconds. Folks, we're all fans of wrestling. Whether you sit in the back row like I did for Bound for Glory, or second from last row, or front row and you paid hundreds of dollars, do not sit on your fucking phone for like a whole goddamn match because you make yourself look like an idiot when you're doing it, and it's embarrassing. These people are busting their fucking ass.
Now, hold. Let me back the people up there, Jaybone. If you're pulling out your cell phone to take pictures and videos, I think that's cool. You're taking something from the event. You're interacting with social media. But if you're sitting there texting your girlfriend about what you're having for dinner that night, like, what are you even coming for?
Like that, when you're like this.
That's awful. That's awful. But if you're pulling the phone out, getting pictures and videos, that's awesome. That's you interacting with the show and taking something from it. If you're texting your boo-boo about seeing them later or sitting on your Twitter or something like that, like, come on. What are you showing up for?
If you're interacting with the show, if you're tweeting about the show, like feeding the hashtag, I'm all for it. But the people who I have seen people, guys, who are on their phone in the front row and they're like streaming high spots and watching another show while paying for a front row ticket live. And I saw a lot of people on their damn phones in Scranton. That's for sure.
Okay. So the link is in the description of the video.
Please vote for us.
So if you don't see it, refresh the page and you'll see it.
Very cool. Nice. Now the show opened here, guys, with the North. I'm blanking on who they took on. Does anybody recall who they took on?
It was the Sambo show. Some local guys, but they looked great. Great.
Okay. I'm sure. Yeah, the match was good. I couldn't remember who the hell it was, but
that's not your fault. We got some locals on the show. Some students getting their spot.
Again, more North dominance. Without a doubt, it was complete North dominant. These guys, it's at a point now, man, where it is like you can't beat these guys. They are way too fucking good. Like, what do you? The only ones, like I said earlier about Turning Point. The only ones that are going to make sense is Swann and Mack because they're the ones taking them to the limit every week. That's the ones I could see doing it. But right now, I don't want to see them lose it yet. Anytime soon, they're just too hot right now. I can't see them dropping these belts anywhere. They just look fantastic doing it, and they're two big guys. These are some big men. These are some tough guys. Kyle, we talked about the North already, but just going back real quick about it. I know we mentioned, is there anybody else aside from Mack and Swann that you can see doing it? Like that you can see challenging these guys?
I have to bite my tongue on something here. You'll understand some other day, but let's just leave it at that. They need to bring in a new tag team or form a new tag team, or maybe build up the Fallah and TJP, for example. Or hey, how about your Brown brothers, Trent? Rohit could use a title. Rohit deserves it. How about throw it on the Daisy Hit Squad for a nice heel run there? Who knows?
Rohit can definitely use a title, man. Come on. I need my boy Rohit to get a title. X title. Come on, something.
Chris Sabin has been hanging out as a producer / agent. What about bringing the Machine Guns back in? How do you feel about that?
You know, did Alex Shelley just showed up somewhere? He was at a Warrior Wrestling show here in Chicago a little while ago.
He's on the Ring of Honor roster, isn't he?
Is he back in Ring of Honor?
I believe both of them are away from Ring of Honor at this point, like a lot of other people. But I was watching Explosion last night. That's right. Explosion is a thing. You can watch it on Impact Plus. I was watching Explosion last night, and they did the, interview show they have on there in this ring, something like that. I'm drawing a blank here. Like
around the ring.
Around the ring.
Oh,
there we go. Bingo. So Chris was on there talking, and Josh asked him, would you like to get back in the ring with Impact Wrestling at some point? And he said, I'm back there doing work right now. He's got an injury that he's healing up from, and he said once his injury heals up, he would love to, get back in those Impact Wrestling ropes. So keep your eye on him in the future.
Maybe next year. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but keep the North strong for a long, long time until in the background we build up a new tag team to get ready for it. But the North have proved themselves time and time again. Keep it on them for a long time. Give them that long, long run, like Hakeem Fullerton's writing. Give them that beer money, length of a run. Keep it on them for a long time.
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it. Next one was the local one, guys. It was the PPW Championship. You had Clutch Adams, who was the champion. He retained again. I think this was all the same guys from the night before were in this one. Also featuring Facade. And that's the guy we've all unanimously said we'd like to see more of him.
Oh, yeah.
Facade looked good, man.
Facade is great.
I'd like to see Facade back. I'm not sure about the Clutch Adams wasn't bad. Their PPW champ. He wasn't bad.
Yeah. I mean, you can't sign everybody.
You can't sign everybody. If I'm going to take anybody out of that, I'm going with Facade. No doubt.
And if they sign Facade, they got to play Vanilla Ice. Go, Ninja. Go, Ninja. Go.
Yeah. Anybody in Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze fan? That's what that's from. Little factoid, Jaybone. I had the VHS of the making of the Go Ninja Go music video of Vanilla Ice. The VHS, which also included the finished product at the end of the VHS. Special edition VHS. Kyle, I know you're an old soul. You appreciate that kind of shit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2.
Trent, you're talking to the right person here.
I know.
I grew up worshiping the Ninja Turtles. TMNT 2, okay. I think the first one was the best of the series. But, Trent, I'll bring it somewhere else. That Ninja Turtles Christmas special VHS tape still gives me nightmares. Very creepy. Very scary.
Very creepy.
You remember that?
Was that
I remember it.
It was like a live musical, and it was terrifying. Very scary.
I believe it's on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube.
Very creepy. Very creepy.
We go from that, gentlemen, to Willie Mack and Ahabli Shera. This is what I mentioned earlier today. Another rough match for Shera. This was not his weekend. He was going for like a power bomb at one point on Willie. He botched it not once but twice in a row, and you could just see he got flustered. Willie wasn't happy with it, and Willie finished him off with that frog splash that he does, and he went, dude, he fucking hit him hard. And I think that's the lesson. It's like, hey, Rook, you're gonna need to shape up here because you're fucking up, and this is your receipt. I do feel that was a bit of a receipt, a friendly veteran receipt to the Rook, which I shouldn't call him a Rook. He's been around for long enough, but
this is his second shot at Impact.
I know.
The guy came off from this run, doing all this, the Shera shuffle.
And he got let go from some other place. So
maybe, I like Shera, but maybe he just can't cut the mustard. And hey, I've never been in a wrestling ring. I'm just a fan. I don't like to comment on the in-ring performances because I know if you put me out there, I would fall right on my ass, and Shera would probably wrestle circles around me. Although I am like a 10-time backyard wrestling champion. We put that there. But, I just feel like something's not connecting. Something is off. Maybe you got to send him back to the training facilities or back to Gama's training farm. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he was trying to pick up Willie Mack and do a bear hug. Now, they're both very big guys. And so that right there, it's like, okay, you got to make sure if you're going to do a move like that and pick him up to the point where he's wrapped around you like that, where Willie Mack would be like over his shoulder, like, in the camera screaming. You got to make sure you can pick up a guy like that first. And yeah, I mean, there was some serious miscommunication in this match, and that was one of the biggest problems. And recovering from that was just, he kept trying to do it and kept trying to do it, and it was like, it's like once it failed once, it's like, okay, now move on to the next thing. And they tried to cover it up too in the commentary, and it was like, and finally Scott D'Amore was just like, he said some shit about him at the end. It was like, oh shit.
It's a thumbs down.
At a certain point, you got to accept that. I mean, if the guy's not getting any better, it's not working. It's nothing personal. I think he's a sweetheart of a guy, but it's not working. It's not happening. So what in the hell? At what point do you say, yeah, it's not working? My other thing too is he's living in Louisville. He's training at OVW like weekly. I'm like, well, shit, man. I mean, how the progress is not where it needs to be is disappointing, because I really wanted it to be good, but. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is for him. I just feel like I just hope he doesn't bring down Raj and Rohit, because Raj is still pretty fresh. Rohit's the veteran, but his performance hopefully doesn't bring those two down. He looks good with them, though. I'll say that.
He's got
big, dominating guy,
but he's not walking the walk. So you
got to protect him. You got to protect him. Then
give him some more time. If he doesn't get any better, then sayonara. But give him a little time. I don't want to be so rough this year.
I want you to throw up Humble Beast's comment there. I'm going to answer his question real quick, Kyle. Get that up there for
sure. Shuffling.
You get back to your job. Get back to your job over here. He's asking me a question. I'm going to answer. No, not that one. The one before. His name, Humble Beast, is Karam. Karam is phenomenal. 23 years old, built like they say, a brick shit house. This guy is fucking great. He can cut a promo. If you've seen the stuff, we released a new one today with Hakeem Zayn / Rohit Raju. We released a new one on AAW Pro on Twitter. Take a look at another one I worked on. Listen to these two guys. This is what you need Rohit to be. Just watch it. I encourage everybody after we're done here, go to AAW Pro's.
Is he a brother of the Brown? Could he fit that spot?
He's a Brown brother too. He's a Brown. I don't know what region of Brown. I haven't asked him. But he's fantastic.
Hey,
he's in the Brown.
Wrestling, it doesn't matter as long as you look the part. Rohit Raju could be Italian for all we know. As long as you look the part, we'll put you in.
He's half black.
Hey,
not many people know that, but he is actually half black.
Okay.
Even Jake put that out there because somebody, I think, during Jordan Miles / ACH's whole meltdown a couple weeks ago. And he put out a tweet. And he said, "Who's your favorite African-American wrestler?" And Jake something put Rohit Raju or Hakeem Zayn. He tagged Hakeem Zayn. And a lot of people were shocked. They're like, what are you talking? I'm like, no, actually, people don't realize he is half African-American. So, yeah. He's where was I going with this? I forgot where I was going with this. But that's the man.
It was an offshoot of Shera conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's the man. I definitely want more of him. You need him to break out. You need him to break out for sure. What are you drinking? Guinness? What did you come into money? What is this?
Guinness, baby.
You've come into a couple bucks. He's wearing $500 headphones. He's wearing a brand new T-shirt. He's got autographs behind him. What is that? Is that an Apple Watch?
It's a Casio G-Shock.
Pebble?
G-Shock.
What the fuck is this? You went from being a scumbag to having a couple of dollars.
A couple of bucks.
Guinness is like premium shit, man. What are you doing?
Well, what you don't know is, Trent, I got into your PayPal account. So I got some IOUs for you. Don't worry. We'll be taking care of you down the road. Scum's going to fall into some money.
Right.
I'm shutting mine down right now.
Yeah.
Trent's like, I hope that was a bit.
Let's keep going on this one, gentlemen.
Yes.
Tenille Dashwood.
I am selling those rocks. Chicago, Englewood style, baby.
Englewood style, baby.
Selling them rocks.
Tenille Dashwood teaming with Jordan Grace, taking on Jessica Havoc. And holy shit, I cannot tell who's Havoc's partner here. God damn it.
Allie Rex.
Allie Rex. That's right. I like Allie Rex. I do. Allie Rex is good, man. Great look. Great look. Does she fit in the X division? Let's find out. I mean, not the X knockouts division. I'm sorry. Can she fit with the knockouts? What were you showing? What were we showing there? BQ gave someone a raise.
Hey, possibly. Party
don't
people.
You have to be paid? Don't you have to be paid first to get a raise?
Oh, you guys haven't been getting paid this whole time? I forgot I was supposed to split the money.
You're supposed to pay us, aren't you?
It's supposed to go down the line.
I thought you told us it's been a rough fall. We weren't drawing.
It's been rough times, damn it. But
wait,
no,
who's getting paid? What?
316.
Hey, Ali Rex though. Earlier in the chat, Alicia said, "Shout out to Ali Rex." I would like to know if this was Alicia's first time seeing Ali Rex, or she's somebody that you're familiar with from the indie scene.
I've
never heard of her, to be honest, but she did impress me.
I only came across her, I think, on Twitter, and I liked what I saw, so I followed some of her stuff she was doing, so I was watching it. First time I ever seen her in a match, though. And she was good. She's energetic. She's small. She's kind of got that Alicia Edwards size. She's tiny. What she, she'll be kind of that real energetic, that real firecracker kind of in a knockouts division. Not sure what her status is. I think she is purely sticking to a certain region. I haven't seen her make her way to the Midwest or West Coast at all. So not sure what her deal is, but I'd like to see more of her. I want to see her develop a little more. So we'll see. We'll see where she goes. Next one, guys. Go ahead.
I want to give Impact credit for consistency here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second alley they've killed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're down 2 alleys. Next one, guys, is interesting. I like that this was featured. Fallah Bahh challenging Ace Austin for the X Division title. I like Fallah getting that little shot. And I like the announcers bringing attention to the fact that
this wasn't for
Fallah could win.
This wasn't for the
title. Could be, it wasn't for the title?
No. Debate time here, fellas.
I really don't. I feel uncomfortable watching Jaybone suck on a fucking lollipop.
Yeah. It's
starting to throw me off.
Very distracting.
It's because our favorite Joey wasn't part of either of these shows. So I'm trying to make up for it. So I'm sucking.
Getting horny. You're making me horny, J-Bone.
Why does that take you so long to eat that fucking lollipop? It's a lollipop.
This is like my 5th one. This is his 2nd one.
Is that a dum dum or is that some off-brand?
Oh no, these are
official dum dums.
Yeah,
he's got a whole bag of this shit, doesn't he?
When I'm janitoring after school, there's one classroom that I always take a handful of blow pops from. A scumbag, I see candy on the
kids,
desk.
Kyle.
No, they're for me. Principal's office, they got those nice, those strawberry candies that your grandma would have.
Dude, I love those. I love grandma candy.
A couple of butterscotches, they're for me. They're for the janitors. It doesn't say kids only.
Where do you buy those candies?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've never seen a brand. I've never seen strawberry candy. They just appear places.
I don't know.
The universe puts them places.
Where do grandmas find them? I can't find them. I want to buy some of those.
I can tell you, but you got to be nice to me.
All right, let's hear it.
The strawberry ones, dollar store.
Dollar store.
Dollar store.
What about the other one? I want the butterscotch one.
Store. I don't shop there.
I've never bought them from the dollar store. I just know this.
Okay.
All right, cool. Good to know. We learned something here. All right, well.
Trent, tomorrow when I'm at work, I'll get a nice handful off the teacher's desk, and I'll ship them down to you.
Bring them on. I need some. Bring them in. Bring them in.
A couple over.
Let's do it. All right. Fallah Bahh and Ace Austin. So you said it wasn't for the title? I could have sworn this was goddamn. They mentioned that Fallah had a shot.
William Gardner, you were there in the crowd. Was that for the title? Let us know, Will. We're calling you
William
out.
Gardner, clarify, please.
In that beautiful moose jacket you wear.
Either way, I love, again, Fallah Bahh, he didn't get blown up at all. This dude hung with a smaller X Division guy. Fantastic. He just continues to show me every fucking week how he is such a key player for Impact right now. He is talented. He's energetic. People are into him. He actually woke up that crowd with some ba-bas, he woke people up. You need that. You need a guy like Fallah who can connect with a crowd. I like him a lot. I think this is great.
It also showed how good Ace Austin is versus a guy like him. did you notice how much limb work he was doing, trying to chop down the big guy? That was good wrestling.
Straight
Ace gets it, man. Ace Austin gets it, man. He definitely understands how to work. He's got it, man.
I'm gonna bang his wife.
Show the shirt again, Kyle. One more time. You paid enough good money for that.
It's beautiful.
Show the back. Show the back for people who just walked in here.
You know, it's funny though. Like I said, they didn't have it on Thursday, and when I bought it on Friday, I hit the merch stand, and I pulled one of the go get changed in the bathroom, then come out wearing the fresh shirt, and I mean, people are like, oh, they got that? Where'd you get that? William Gardner saw me wearing this shirt and went right to the merch stand and bought it. I mean, how could you?
No, Bill Gardner is too. I feel like he's too nice of a guy to wear that shirt in public.
I don't know, man. I think he might be banging wives. This guy is an international wrestling celebrity. Guy's in the front row at every show. I mean, if anybody's pulling some wrestling chicks, it's got to be William Gardner.
The only taping I think Bill misses is Mexico.
Now, I not to be curious and nosy about William's personal life, but I would like to know where this guy is getting the money from to go to every single taping, and in the front row of all places. This guy's got like disposable income, or he's got some connections in the back. He's got to fill me in on those. I want those connections.
Kyle, you should have made good friends with old Bill.
I did. You know what? After Friday night, see, I parked like a half hour away, and let me tell you, Queens, not the prettiest neighborhood, kind of in the hood, if you will, and it was freezing cold out. And I'm complaining about walking 30 minutes to my car. And the good guy, William, barely know him, says, Kyle, I'll give you a ride. You come with me. So I hopped in the car with William. He drove me, 30 minutes from the arena back to my car where it was not broken into. Nothing was stolen out of it.
30 minutes?
So let me clarify.
30 minutes?
Look, well, first off, I'm a suburbanite. I'm not a city boy. Doing the whole parallel park thing on the city streets is not my cup of tea. Very close to hitting cars. And honestly, I got there late because of traffic on Thursday. So I really couldn't find a parking spot. I drove around Melrose Ballroom for like 20 minutes while people are at the pizzeria waiting for me, the event that I'm hosting that I hadn't shown up to. I was the last one there. So eventually I did find a parking spot. So on Friday, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to park any old place. As soon as I see a parking spot, I'm parking there. And I will, like a city guy, do a nice walk because people in the city barely have cars. They walk everywhere. So I park. I get out of my car. I pull out the old GPS on the walk setting to, wherever I went from my car to 33rd Street where Melrose Ballroom is located. And I realize, oh, no, I got a 30-minute walk ahead of me. So I walk 30 minutes in the freezing cold, get to the pizzeria where, then everything was good. So after the show, I'm like, oh, man, I'm not looking forward to this walking through the hood at night in the freezing cold. But William Gardner, being a true Impact brother, it just goes to show you, man, the Impact fan base, we're like a family.
It's a family.
It's a family. That's why we do this for, the Impact fans. So thank you, Will, for that ride. It was awesome.
Awesome. Good man. Good man. All right. Now, speaking of good men, Johnny Bravo's in the ring here, accompanying Taya because she is taking on Madison Rayne. Madison cuts a very condescending promo to the crowd there, which deservingly, I think. That damn crowd needed a damn promo cut on them to wake them up a little bit. So Bravo gets in there. Mr. Mundo's with him. Bravo utters the line, "It's still real to me, damn it." That came out. That line was out
Bravo
there.
is getting better and better, dude. Bravo is a legend. That is a guy that I love watching him, man. He is so entertaining.
He's fantastic. Johnny Bravo, dude. To make the transition, he was a wrestler to referee to manager of the Knockouts champion. Fantastic. He's great. This was a good match. I really liked this match, actually. I thought Madison and Taya had great chemistry. And the flow into the finishing sequence, Jay, I'm going to come to you for your thoughts on this first. That Road to Valhalla, perfect finishing sequence. I think they both look fantastic on this one.
Oh, yeah. See, this is the perfect example of what the Knockouts match should flow like. Okay? These two worked together. They worked with each other. Nobody carried anybody. They had really good chemistry. both pros. And then when it came to, Johnny Bravo at ringside doing goofy stuff with the dog, which was priceless. I was trying to think of jokes to come up with while I was watching this. I was like, oh my God, someone's got to, check that dog for rabies,
It's a good thing Big Boss Man isn't alive anymore.
No, he'll end up eating that or serving that dog to Al Snow or something.
Oh, but, God.
Or
that's
shit,
horrible.
Man. We're infiltrating companies here again, Kyle. What the hell are we doing?
No, all right. I'm calling out the good old days. I could shout out the old '90s.
Oh, that's classic.
Then again, Trent, you were a WCW kid, so you probably weren't even.
I was too busy watching the NWO dominate. The next match, I think, was the match of the night for Overdrive. This was Rich Swann was either got a lot of sleep the night before, was amped up, and just was. This dude was on, man. Rich Swann had the energy like there was 10,000 people in there, and he just brought it. He was not letting up on that crowd till he woke them the fuck up, and he danced around the whole ring, and he just had crazy energy all night. And then Jake, dude, this match stole the night. It stole Overdrive for me. They killed it on this. Absolutely killed it. Fantastic fucking match. I loved it. I love everything on this one. This one hit everything for me. Jay, what do you think about this? Any thoughts? What did you like about this one? What did you not like? Anything?
We're talking Deaners, haven't
what?
We're not talking Deaners. There's no Deaners here.
You just said, I thought you said Jake. You're talking Jake Crist.
Wrong Jake.
Wrong Jake.
Wrong brother Jake.
Yeah, what number is
that? This was good. I was starting to run out of time towards the end of the night because I literally finished this up literally minutes before we went live. But so I skipped a little bit of this match. I watched more of the next one. But these two are always great together. Rich Swann and Jake Crist. You can't go wrong. Interesting verbiage, though. I did catch up the parts that I saw of this match, saying that it seemed like management really screwed Jake Crist out of that title. And that was Scott D'Amore. And I was like, what?
It's always funny when Scott makes a management reference.
Yeah. It's like wait. What?
I gotta say, I think Scott is really entertaining on commentary. I think him and Don really go back and forth. I think they have great chemistry. I think that if there's a day where we don't have Josh Matthews anymore, and I do like Josh, there's a day where he bounces. I think that Scott D'Amore should, maybe take on another role, wear another hat in the company. I think he has a great voice for commentary, that strong Canadian accent, and him and Don are just hysterical together.
I like that we got both of them this weekend.
Yeah,
we got them both this weekend.
We got Don, we got Josh, and we got Scott.
It was good. It was good. It was a cool way to get everybody featured. I like that. Yeah. I enjoyed that.
I've actually gotten to the point now as an Impact Wrestling fan where I really do appreciate Josh Matthews.
Oh, that happened for me a while ago. I admit I hated him a lot when he first came in, and slowly but surely he won me over. I think Josh is a hell of a talent.
Well, I've
Josh
said this before.
Just needed the best. He needed the right color guy with him. That's what it was. Yeah. What were you going to say, Jay?
Yeah. I was just kidding. It's the rough period for me was when he was constantly arguing with Jeremy Borash, and it really took away from the product. And I actually tuned out for a few months during that. And then it was like right after that, and Jeremy Borash left, is when I really started paying attention again. Once that feud was done, I was like, okay, I can watch this again. Because that just really was ridiculous.
Oh, I like the GOAT. I mean, I'm a sucker for shenanigans, if you will, but I enjoyed the GOAT.
Oh, I mean, when they weren't fighting, it was fine. But there was sometimes when it was just way too much.
That led to Josh, Jeremy, Joseph Park, and Scott Steiner in the greatest match of all time. One of the top 5 greatest matches of all time. That's what that led to. So I don't want to hear that shit, Jaybone.
I was there, man. I was in that crowd.
That was beautiful.
Somebody cut him off for the beer here. He's drinking too much.
Dude, now hold on. I only had 2 beers. I am completely fine. Are you arguing that Joseph Park, Josh Matthews, Scott D'Amore, Scott Steiner, imagine Scott D'Amore, Scott Steiner, and Jeremy Borash in a match together wasn't magic? I mean, come on. Shark Boy Shark Boy made an appearance.
Shark Boy did do that. Match was fucking fun.
Hey, let's talk about this fatal four-way here. Elgin, Moose, Cage, and Edwards.
Hey, I enjoy going off topic, off the rails.
Awesome match, man.
Minister, damn it.
This was a good match. I like this one a lot. These guys, it was basically four guys who either will wear the title at some point, have worn the title, will wear it again. What I always love about Impact Wrestling. I gotta say this, and this is one thing a lot of companies don't do. Mostly, one thing at AAW where I work doesn't do that. You always need to have more than one guy ready to go in your title picture, because as you see, sometimes you get injuries. You get guys who lose steam. You get guys who the crowd turns on them. You got to have multiple guys ready to go at all times. And what you had here, you had Elgin, you got Cage, you got Eddie, you got Moose. All four can be inserted into the world title picture tomorrow, and it'll make sense. That's what you want. You need to always have guys ready to go. And this was a nice way to feature them all, show them all. I should remind everybody who's out there, who we have in that mix. And Eddie wins this one. He steals the Boston Tea Party steals the win on this one, keeps everything intact. I think Eddie is going to either get a shot or another run at some point. I imagine
the shot trophy, man.
He does. I think it's going to be a shot. I can't see Eddie taking the belt right now. It doesn't make any sense.
Not right now, but I will say that I think that Eddie Edwards is the most underappreciated Impact talent on the roster. I feel like he's had the longest tenure. He always puts on a killer match. The stuff I saw from him in New York, every single match was just on another level. He's proved to us in this current run that he can expand his character and just, go outside of the norm of what he always was. His character was always kind of vanilla. He was always, the wrestler's wrestler. Now, still wrestling, but he's got a whole different demeanor, a whole different character. And he's the type of guy, maybe he doesn't need the belt right now, but if he were to get it, he's somebody that deserves it. He's proved himself.
No doubt. I agree. Maybe, and I think his other title run, he wasn't as personable as he is now. Like, he's come into his own a lot more now.
He's got the work to back it up. And if he does pursue Sami Callihan, it makes perfect sense. You're connecting two dots. You're tying two loose ends.
Big time. Jay, you're going to say something?
I want to point out one quick thing from this match. That was a nice little bit of commentary before things really get rocking in this match between these four. I'm not sure why he did this, but Scott D'Amore really pissed off Moose before this match got rolling. He actually put on Moose's robe, and they put him on camera for a second, saying he was going to sell it on eBay or sell it somehow. And I was just like, oh, my God, Scott D'Amore's not going to make it through the rest of the show. Moose is going to jump down there and murder him.
That's like how last week I said I was going to sell these autographs on eBay. Sometimes you just got to. If I were to steal William Gardner's EC3 jacket, I wouldn't keep it. I'd wear it a few times and then sell it on eBay. You got to do what you got.
I got to say one thing. Moose's robes. This is the fact that he's always investing in himself and the character. New robe every taping. Every set of tapings is a fresh robe. Pay-per-view, fresh robe. New gear. When you invest in yourself, it shows, man. The guy really, really, it shows. I'm with Chris right here. I want Moose to get a title run. Everybody, again, going back to the mid-card title, we need one that just keeps everybody busy for a little bit.
That's a recurring theme on this podcast. We want.
I hope they listen.
Give the fans what they want. The Access title.
Let's blow up the Twitter, man. Let's let them know what we want. The Access title. Tell them.
We have the power. We have Twitter. We are in the social media generation. If we want something, we have to voice ourselves to Twitter.
Do it. Tell them. Say you want, like they said at We Talk Impact. That's us. Total Nonstop Impact. As We Talk Impact said, let's get the Access title. Let's get that in there. It sounds cool. It works. But all right, so Eddie's in there now. Main event time, guys. Rhino and Sami Callihan. This was great. Because I feel like Sami is that one guy who I feel like could have.
Thumbs up.
Oh, okay. There you go. The full way.
No, thumbs up.
I feel Sami could have been an ECW guy in 1997, 98.
Absolutely.
He totally could have. right? He totally could have.
Didn't he do a thing on the Indies? I never really saw any of it where he tore through all ECW legends.
That's the first time I ever heard of him, where he was calling out all the ECW legends and like destroying them. So, Jay, let's start with you on this match. I loved it. I thought Rhino versus anybody's great. Sammy versus anybody's great. It's good stuff. What do you think?
I tuned out for part of this one because we were setting up and I actually ran out of time, so I apologize. I can't say too much about this match. The ending was interesting. The fact that Rhino was holding the title after the OVE crew left the ring, and then he grabs Tessa Blanchard.
War Machine, Rhino.
Takes her hand, puts the belt in it, and she's like, what the?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I actually put Alicia's comment back up there. I do agree. I want OVE severely needs to be built back up.
You know what? We were talking about who's going to take the belts off the North. If it's not going to be the Rascals, it's got to be OVE.
But OVE's had it. That's the thing.
But it's been 2 years.
It's time for another reign.
It's been 2 years.
LAX ran the fucking ship for way too long.
You just need to give OVE some wins, though. That OVE just needs some fucking wins. They have jobbed the Tessa I don't know how many times. It's time.
Yeah, they deserve it. And also, when you talk about OVE, you have to mention. Well, I'll get to the match in a second, but you have to mention how Sammy's getting a hell of a run. Dave Crist got his own run. He did the golden draw thing, but Jake Crist did the golden draw thing. But Dave Crist has fallen with middle child syndrome. He really hasn't gotten to shine and really show his personality and strut his stuff too much on the show. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. He looks great. He's lost a bunch of weight. He trimmed his beard. He got a haircut. He looks good. I think he's got an injury. I think he's nursing an injury. That's my theory, because he hasn't done shit.
No.
And I think he's nursing an injury because he's in the brawls and everything. They're really protecting him a lot.
Didn't one of those guys just become champ at Pro Wrestling Revolver show? Not the champ, but
that's the Indies. I mean, that doesn't really matter. I'm talking strictly Impact Wrestling, and I don't think Madman Fulton needs it. I think it needs to stay on Dave and Jake.
No, I'm just saying I couldn't remember who just won a championship. I'm trying to figure out like who's injured, who's not. That's what I'm saying.
Alicia B. Keiki, our dear friend here, says Dave works amazing as a solo act, but he is injured. So maybe
I figured he's hurt. Something's going on with Dave that he can't. But he looks great. In the meantime, he's cleaned up his act.
Absolutely.
But this was good, man. Kyle, this was awesome. Sammy and Rhino, this was a fun match. Sammy retains on this one. You know, he's still your champion. But like Jaybone mentioned, at the end of it, they had a little bit of a brawl. Tessa came in, Rich was in there, and Rhino handed Tessa the belt. It was pretty cool, man. Crowd liked it.
As soon as Rhino did that, you got to take a look at the expression on Brian's face. It's priceless. He does this.
Whose face?
He said
Cage.
Okay.
Brian Cage. He does it. He does this.
I don't know.
Yeah, I rewound it because I was like, "Oh, did he just?"
Yeah, well, interesting. That's
now. Now, do you guys feel like it's inevitable that Tessa gets that world championship, or will they swerve us, bro, and something else happen?
I'm a big fan of Swerve.
I mean, I feel like all signs are pointed towards Tessa winning.
She's
but
getting it.
But like we keep mentioning, what if she's about to get that win and Eddie runs in with the call your shot and screws her over, and then they slow burn it even further from there? I mean, just an idea.
Well, I've been waiting for Nevaeh to show up for months now. Like that'd be a perfect thing for Nevaeh to come in and help the OVE. OVE needs some woman help.
The Red Impact titles are coming up.
Do we know that for a fact?
I heard this rumor too. I don't know. I mean, I trust
Andre. I didn't see them in New York.
Andre got his ear to the ground on all the stuff. I think that's inevitable. It's a quick update to the belts. I think they can do it. Got to go red. The colors of the company now makes sense.
Why not? It's all right. Yeah, Yeah. It's a new chapter, so why not? What's
Testa with the belt, is a good visual. It's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of people who hate it. There's a lot of people who love it.
You know what? But those people are fucking stuck in the past. You got to put the belt on Tessa somewhere down the line. I think it's like a progressive moment in pro wrestling, and like something that I've heard Sammy say in person and on Twitter is that this isn't intergender wrestling. This is pro wrestling.
They're really pushing that point.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Now, somebody like Eli Drake might not agree with that. Somebody like Jim Cornette might not agree with that.
No.
And by the way, fuck Jim Cornette because he did a whole bit on his podcast apparently beating up Impact. Like
I just heard it today.
Fuck him.
My big beef with that stuff is everything in his review of that one episode was without context of any sort.
No context. And you know what?
Zero context.
All the respect in the world to an old legend like Jim Cornette, but like his time has came and went. I don't want to hear what my grandpa thinks about the current state of heavy metal or rap music. You know what I mean? It's like the generation, it's all passed him by. He's out of touch. I really don't care for his opinions. I think he's constantly wrong on that stuff. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree. When Jim Cornette is talking about, for example, when he's doing commentary, now forgive me, I'm going to say another brand's name here. When he's doing commentary on NWA, he's fine.
Here he goes.
He's talking about like the historical stuff.
Thanks, Jaybone.
It's fine,
This is Jaybone with your weekly advertisement for another wrestling promotion.
We're talking about Jim Cornette. He's part of the NWA now, and I'm saying what he does well is when he's talking about his brand and the history of NWA, and he's doing his shtick.
Yeah,
then he's doing fine. You take him out of whatever he's doing, whether it was MLW, he's not doing MLW no more.
No,
because they're getting their own women's league.
2 for 1, twofers, twofers from Jaybone. Jaybone, how about you tell us about what went on Monday Night Raw tonight? Could you give us
give a rat's fucking ass about what's going on.
All right. But,
all right, well, let's wrap this up here.
No, but bottom line, though, I feel like Tessa getting the belt somewhere down the line, I don't care who disagrees with it. I think it's the right move. I think it's you got to do it. Give it a long build, a slow burn, but it's got to happen. It's just the right thing to do. It's going to make history. You got to go for it. Personally,
I'm with it. I'm definitely with that. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. I'll be there. If it's hard to kill, I'll be in attendance. So we'll see where they go with it. But guys, a fun weekend of events. I like the Supercard weekends, the Twitch and Plus specials. That's fun that they do both.
Yep.
I'm enjoying them. I'm glad there's another one next month. I'm planning on making the road trip to the Dayton and Detroit ones with some buddies. So planning on doing it. The Chicago crew's going to go out. It's only a couple hours from us, so we'll make it over to Detroit and Dayton, or for those for that weekend. So anybody's coming, Bill, if you're coming out there to
that's
Detroit,
not a question. Bill probably has his hotel, his flight, his tickets. He's ready to go.
I'm just checking. I mean, it's drivable. I'm seeing if he's making it. So Bill, let me know if you're coming, man. I'll be there. But yeah, that's going to be fun.
Now, Trent, you're obviously not hosting a pizza party in Texas. We need to find out what the premier headline food is in Texas. Barbecue, some Tex-Mex, maybe. I don't know.
We'll do it.
Something. You got to put the TNI food party together, but it can't be pizza because I do not trust Texas pizza.
Fair enough. I don't trust Texas pizza either. I will definitely. Oh, Bill got his tickets tonight. He's there. So I will see you there, pal. That's another one for us to attend together. Awesome. Very cool. All right. So good stuff, guys. We have another one. So another weekend coming up in December. We got some fun, man. And then you got January. So there's a lot going on with Impact and then the weekly Access show. So there's a ton of content. That's what we want. Let's go from there. Update on the votes. We don't have an update on the votes.
We don't have control of that. We can't.
We don't know
that. It's
You can vote. You can vote up until November 24th. The award show is December 8th, I believe. Just go to the Wrestle Hub on Twitter, and they give you all the updates on there.
I'll be back in town by then, so we'll definitely go over that, guys. Hopefully we'll celebrate at least one win. We'll see. All right, guys, let's let these folks go. It's been a nice long review. Kyle, where can they find you online?
Follow me on the Twitter sphere at KL_TNI. Chat it up.
All right, Jaybone.
You can follow me over on the Twitter box at Jaybone5150. That's Jaybone 5150. You can also follow me over on that other little
absolute moron.
Continue. Sorry.
That other little podcast called Smash This Podcast over on the YouTubes. You can go follow me over there too. Smash This Podcast also has a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Is that what it is?
Yes,
hey, Grandpa. It's called Instagram, Grandpa.
All the kids are using that Insta Snap.
You can follow me at AOL Online or MySpace.
Kyle, you really give your future father-in-law a hard time here, man.
I kick him in the balls every chance I get.
Every show. You guys can follow me at Vanilla Joke on Instagram and Twitter. Also, follow the show at We Talk Impact, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just type in We Talk Impact. We come right up the Total Nonstop Impact podcast. Don't forget, guys, also make sure you subscribe to the Impact Lounge, the channel you're watching this show on right now. We also cross-post everything to the Total Nonstop Impact channel. So go to the search bar on YouTube, type in Total Nonstop Impact. You'll see our specific logo. Add that channel too.
And I heard rumors, Trent, that next week we might be on both channels at once. That's a rumor I heard.
We'll see. We're working on something on some technology advancements. We'll see what happens. But guys, also don't forget, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are found: Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify. Rate, review, subscribe, please. The more you rate, the more we get seen. Write a review, give it a 5-star. Let us know what you think. iTunes users, I'm looking at you guys. We've been charting in other countries thanks to iTunes, which is phenomenal. You guys are great. Please keep rating the show. Jaybone, you're going to say something.
#1 in Cambodia, and Kyle, finish it.
#1 in Cambodia and in our hearts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Chris Madison from the UK. Guys, I love when the UK listeners stay up this late.
Yep. #1 in Cambodia, #1
in my ass.
Oh!
On that note, everybody, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back with this week's Impact on Access review. We're going to aim for Thursday, right? We're going to Humble Beast. We got women listening to the show now. It's phenomenal. It's incredible. 2 chicks in the chat.
The women are over. I mean, I see so many chat things in here for Alicia, chat things for the nurse. They like when females. They
like when women watch Impact Wrestling.
I'm sick of the sausage fest. I'm sick of it.
Pretty much what it is.
A lot of women on the show. They could be on our podcast too.
Well, guys, go ahead. Let's don't forget, add us on all the social medias. We'll get in touch. We'll be back on. Let's aim for Thursday for the review show, and we'll talk to you guys then. And I missed anything?
Go vote.
Go vote. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you in a couple days. Thanks for joining last minute tonight. Talk to you later.
That's it. Adios, everybody.
I have seen that penis.
I have. We are out of here.